everyone. Thank you so much for making Oklahoma the Spotlight State. With the help of National PTA, some of the things that we're doing to attract new leaders is highlight our School of Excellence. We were the recipients of 5 of our schools being nominated. One of those schools we're here at today, Anderson Elementary. So we were able to go into the schools ourselves as a state, kind of talk to the people who were here and find these hidden gems. Right. Look for our digital recap coming up November 16th, 1 p.m. in the afternoon, but we'll have it on the website shortly after that. Again, these are people that we normally might not catch or see because they're just doing their everyday job, their everyday passion, and they don't expect any recognition. But when we go in, we try to talk to people, see what's going on, and we do have a highlight today to bring forth.
I'm Mrs. Sanchez, TA for Teacher's Assistant for the 4th grade here at Anderson Elementary. And I'm an approved interpreter and translator for the school district.
And so when we're talking about bringing on more volunteers for PTA, trying to make sure that we're reaching the demographics that we actually serve, this is one of the things that we're doing. We're making sure that we not only contact or bring in the cosmetic portion of diversity, but that we're also making sure that we're utilizing those skills that they're bringing. Every child, one voice.
Cada niño una voz.
So when we're talking about training, mentoring, and coaching, at the beginning of my term, our executive board sat down and kind of put out their plans of work, the vision. The vision that I had was to bring us to a financial status that would have us be sustainable, to replenish our coffers, and to train leaders or to have leaders come from this. I initially gave what I wanted to see us do, but again, my thoughts can only go so far because it takes boots on the ground to be able to accomplish a lot of these things. And so, by being more inclusive and working with partners in our community and in our state, this helps us to be more mindful and more proactive in making change in anything that is coming down the pike as far as legislation with our students. What's ever happening in the classroom, what's happening on the city level, state level, and federal level. I set the initial tone to make sure that we bring in persons of leadership for them to follow an example and or just to enhance what they already have. They kind of go over what they have planned to do, but I give them the autonomy to be able to set their own training up. And so even the same with the council presidents. What I did was have our council liaison work with our office director because I felt there were a lot of things that they need to know on the flip side of what goes on in the office that they can help to create, enhance, or to do better in. It was also to make sure that we had emerging leaders coming from this board. I give them that free will to be able to do those things as long as they line up with the vision and we're all on the same page. We have a tendency to rely on what's been done in tradition. It keeps us safe. And one of the things that I wanted to do was get people out of the fear of failing in order to try new things. And it's okay if we don't succeed, but at least we tried. One of the things when we're talking about financial sustainability is that years of traditional things had gotten us to a point where we had to start looking at our financial status. Do these things really need to continue? And if they are, how do we afford them? And so what we had to start doing was going outside the box. And again, that's where you develop leaders. So the obstacle for us was overcoming tradition and coming out of the fear of failing. It's okay as long as we fall forward because we're still moving that way. And bring back why we're here. And so from a state, council, and local level, we all have to remember why we're here. And it's for these children that are in this classroom. The things, the books, the funding, the issues that we face. In our own state right now, we're having issues with truancy ordinances being brought forth, with the police department wanting to be more so involved. And, those are things we're getting our units active in and saying that, there's a way to go about this. And, not necessarily bringing the police into it, but helping make sure that our parents and our families are more so engaged in education to understand the importance of making sure that your child is at school every day. Most importantly, as we're talking about admiration of different states that we move around, my greatest admiration is going to be National PTA because they have given us a platform, 7 years of age, and we are so grateful. And so as we're looking around, and I don't highlight any particular one as being greater than the other, but when I looked around and I looked at California and Texas, it was really a business focus that I saw coming from them. And it's because they had the staff available to be able to do a lot of things. And that's not saying that as a small state or a medium state or a petite state that we couldn't do the same thing. But looking at their practices, we align ourselves with business best practices. So when we're looking around and we're talking about admiration of different states, I'm going to tell you right now, you all have great things that we're following. We look at everybody's website to the things that PTA, National PTA does, that we're taking advantage of everything that they have to offer and, growing ourselves, because like I said, we create our own way of doing things, but making sure that we don't disconnect ourselves from National. They have a lot of tools and resources.